Hello, this is Mary Stern, physiotherapist and owner of Blue Ridge Physio in North Vancouver, Blue Ridge. And this is the Stuff I Want to Say series because there is really so much to say. I'm passionate about physiotherapy and rehabilitation and change through movement, mindful movement. And in this realm of transformation through movement, one of the things that is so important that I want to talk about today is as a patient, as a client, truly, really meeting yourself where you're at. And what does that mean? So, if you're into yoga and you've taken yoga classes before, you might have heard this before on the mat. And you might be the kind of person who is thinking, oh my God, this is really woo woo. What does that even mean? Just get to the stretches. Or you might have really resonated with you. So, if you are working with me in my clinic, I am really looking at your body from not just a holistic perspective, but for where you are in that moment and what the gap is in terms of whether that's strength or inflammation in your body and healing, and how we're going to get you to the next stage of healing, or the next stage of transformation, the next stage of performance level. One of the main barriers that I'll see, and I might not always call you on it in the clinic because it might not be the moment, is when people are really very much in their heads and are understanding an exercise in their heads, but without the patience to see that that exercise is not translating into their movement. So let's give you an example. So say you have a rotator cuff tear, or you have an impingement, meaning so one of those tendons is kind of grumpy and sticky, and through some of the movement that you're doing, you are causing more pain. So maybe you're a volleyball player, maybe you're a golfer. So you've come to me, you know that I do dry needling, you know I do manual therapy, you're looking for some healing. You're probably open to some exercises, but really, really wanting to get back to your sport. And so I might give you something that is really neuromotor training. There might be some inhibition in your muscles. So say you're in your back and I've given you rotator cuff circles. Really, really often there is speeding through the movement. So not really exploring that movement, spending time to feel how that range is before you increase the circles without getting too far into what the exercise is. You might be someone that wants to go really fast. You might be someone that, okay, I've got it, right, good, so let's go to the next one. Or you might feel like this is so boring. Truly, this can't be getting me back to the state that I want to be. So let's do something a little more exciting. So I'm going to do a little bit of this, but then I'm going to go straight into my planks and push up. What does it mean to really meet yourself where you're at? Well, part of that's trust. So it's trusting me, trusting your physiotherapist that, yes, I see you. I know that you're a wonderful athlete, or you're a busy mom, or you're a teenager learning a new skill. I see you. We're going to get you there. Absolutely honoring that. But I do understand what it is going to take, what kind of load that tissue needs, what kind of stability that tissue needs to continue to build your power, your mobility, your strength, to continue to heal. So one of those things is trust. Another is I want to call it honoring yourself. I want to call it acceptance, and that means different things for different people. But there's a lot of fear sometimes involved in an injury. So there's a lot of sense of fear of A, maybe it's not going to get better, or B, maybe I don't have what it takes anymore. Maybe I'm getting older. That's a big one. Or it can be C, oh man, I did something really stupid. I feel like I'm being careless. Whatever that fear is, when we take away the fear, that's when we get some acceptance of, hey, our body is constantly changing, and if we intervene in the right way, that change is going to produce positive change. It's going to be a healthy change. Without the fear, we know that it doesn't matter what age we are, we absolutely can have optimal function and continue to make performance gains. I mean, maybe unless we're professional and we're going recreational, but you get what I mean. So taking away that fear is so important, and letting in some acceptance. Sometimes the barrier is, really getting in our own way of, we have a understanding, maybe we have a background in something that's related, or maybe we're an engineer and we're trying to understand things in a way that maybe is complex, but we're using our old frameworks of understanding. So rather than just being kind of in that moment, feeling the exercise, we're scrambling maybe. I say we, I'm saying it as though I'm the patient, but you're scrambling maybe, if that's you, or if you recognize this in yourself, scrambling to understand exactly what is going on, exactly where the pain is coming from, and exactly what the neuromotor processing is. And that is not really being present in doing what you need to do. And yes, education is amazing and important, but the reality is a lot of that understanding is still a bit mysterious to people who've been studying it for years and years and years, and specialists. And so the understanding or the proof is really in the pudding. I feel like that's like a really old saying, but I'm going to say it. And so understand it experientially. That's really, really important. Understand it through doing it with a little bit of trust from your guide, which is me, the physiotherapist. And then building some more of that intellectual understanding through workshops. And that's something that I'm working on providing for people, because I do tend to have a lot of patients who really intelligent people, and whose intelligence, it can be a great starting point to really embracing rehab and getting healthy. And so I don't say that we want to completely get out of our heads, but being in the moment is a process, and sometimes harder for people who are more intellectually minded. So meeting yourself where you're at, taking a moment to pause, and understanding that that place that you're at is always going to change. And so what progressing exercise becomes extremely important, knowing that if you 4 or 5 years ago had a disc pathology, it doesn't mean that you can't move into flexion, can't bend forward anymore. So some of the meeting yourself where you're at is knowing that your old limitations don't necessarily have to be your limitations. So that was stuff that I want to say, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please book with me if you are in the Lower Mainland area or in North Vancouver, by going to blueridgephysio.com. I would love to further guide you, and I see all ranges of injuries and chronic conditions, as well as more acute sport injuries. I do work with sometimes clinical Pilates if appropriate. And if you're interested to know what that is, you can look on my channel. It has a bit of a description of what that is. It's just a different kind of movement therapy. I use dry needling, manual therapy, different modalities, really individual, depends on where you're at. All right, thank you very much. Bye.